Hello and welcome to Gareth Evans Gaming. In this video we're going to be running down the top 10 new releases for the month of October 2016.
October is the month when the big games really come out to play. Some genuinely massive franchises will be back in the charts this month, from Gears of War and the Batman Arkham series to Skyrim and the Battlefield franchise. Here are the top 10 releases to look out for this month.
Yesterday Origins is releasing on October the 13th on PS4, PC and Xbox One.
So this is a kind of story-driven indie adventure title, and it reminds me a lot of things. Well, from the look of it, it looks a lot like the kind of Monkey Island point-and-click adventure things. There used to be a lot of them hanging around about 20 years ago, and they've kind of died off a little bit recently. So it's nice to see that kind of genre coming back.
Next up, Gears of War 4 is released on October the 11th on PC and Xbox One.
So this is the third-person cover shooter series, is pretty well known by now. It's a pretty big franchise by now. The original came out on Xbox 360 a good few years ago, and it's got this good aesthetic to it, big chunky soldiers and bulky environments. All the vehicles, it looks big and bulky, and that's its kind of look and its appeal. And it's quite cool, you know. It sets itself apart like that. So yeah, this is another sequel. This is the fourth in the series, and traditionally it's got great multiplayer and co-op. So it's definitely one to look out for if that's what you're interested in.
Mafia III is releasing on October the 7th for PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
So this is one of October's biggest hitters, really. There's a pretty big amount of hype coming into this already. The latest in the Mafia series, obviously. And this time it's a new character, it's a new city. The character's called Lincoln Clay, and the city is the New Bordeaux, which is an imitation of New Orleans. It looks really interesting. There's loads of kind of violent action in it, but it does look pretty cool. There's loads of exploration opportunities, and it's one of those that offers you different ways of going about things. So it's not just about the combat and the driving, you know, you can take stealth approaches. There's different ways of achieving what you want to achieve, basically. This one does seem to include some more side activities and some actual management, which looks pretty cool compared to the previous installments, which were more or less all about the story. You had big open cities, but there was nothing going on. It was all about the main mission thread running through the city was there to host the story, if you know what I mean. So this one's got some more side activities and management aspects, which does look pretty interesting.
Next up, Batman Return to Arkham is releasing on October the 21st for PS4 and Xbox One.
So this is yet another remaster. This time it's Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, so you don't actually get Arkham Knight, which did come out quite recently. So these are the two original games in the Arkham series, and they've been remastered, redeveloped on Unreal Engine 4. So I expect everything to look a lot nicer, expect a lot more detail, improved graphics and upgraded character models and all that kind of thing. But it's essentially those old games, but redeveloped for kind of modern console gaming. So yeah, another re-release.
Battlefield 1 is being released on October the 21st for PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay, so this is probably the biggest game of the month, to be fair. It's got all the usual Battlefield elements, the big multiplayer maps, vehicles and all that kind of thing, but this time it's interesting. It's biplanes instead of fighter jets, it's horses instead of quad bikes. You know, everything's got a different look to it, and it's got a different presentation to what we're used to, but you know, on those same multiplayer mechanics. Also, it looks like it's got a really strong single player campaign, which is probably a first for Battlefield. They've tried single player in the past, you know, obviously in every edition, and it just hasn't really worked. But this does look like it's got a lot of promise. It rolls out over, you know, several characters that you'll play through the course of the game, and it takes you to all the big kind of hotspots of the First World War. So it does look very interesting.
WWE 2K17 releases on October the 11th for the PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay, so this is the big pro wrestling sim. The cover star this year is Brock Lesnar. New gameplay features this time around include fighting in the crowd, some backstage brawls, and just general improved responsiveness and sharpness to the gameplay. So it's an iterative kind of sequel, and the roster of wrestlers this year includes all the fan favourites: John Cena, Ultimate Warrior, Goldberg, and the McMahon family.
Next up, Titanfall II releases on October the 28th for PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay, so this is quite interesting. This is another big multiplayer shooter coming from EA. They've already got Battlefield coming out this month, but they've also got Titanfall 2. This is completely different to Battlefield 1. It's a sci-fi, it's set in the future, and it includes massive fighting mechs which fall out of the sky. And it's all about fast, kinetic movement, kind of running on walls, jetpacks, and it's all about speed. And it does, it sets itself apart in that's its key appeal. That and the giant titans, obviously Titanfall, that's where the name comes from. The giant titans that you can step into, control, and kind of dominate the battlefield in a different way.
Civilization VI releases on October the 21st for the PC.
So this is the classic 4X strategy series. So this is all about building a civilization up from the dawn of time and right through to the modern era and the kind of the near future as well. Civilization 6, I mean, we've seen this game several times over, and every time it's added something, it's brought something new to the table, and it's been really enjoyable. The key thing about the Civilization series is it's got this hook when you always feel like, oh, just one more turn, you click end turn, and it hooks you in. You just want to find out what will happen in the next turn, and it's got a great hook in that sense. Civilization 6 builds upon the kind of general gameplay of Civilization 5, and it looks very similar to Civilization 5 on the surface. It's got the same hex grid, which makes it really easy and simple to play. But deep. The longer you spend with it, the deeper it goes. So it's a great kind of formula. But there's lots of new mechanics, modified tech tree, streamlined gameplay, and things like stacking and things of units, so you can combine different units to look after each other and things like that. So it does look like it's a good addition to the franchise.
Rise of the Tomb Raider is releasing on October the 11th for PS4.
Okay, this is already available on Xbox One and PC. It came out last year, I believe, and it's an action-adventure. I mean, everyone knows Tomb Raider. It's that Uncharted rip-off series. It's kind of, it's one of the biggest video game series there is, and Microsoft had a kind of timed exclusive on it, and it's finally coming to PlayStation, and they're packaging it as this 20-year anniversary edition of the game. So as you'd expect, players control Lara Croft through various environments, and it's all about platforming, survival, combat, and it looks bloody gorgeous as well. Based on what I've seen from the Xbox One version, it looks phenomenal, really nice graphics, so definitely one to look forward to if you're a big fan of the series.
Skyrim Special Edition is releasing on October the 28th for PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
Skyrim, the best game ever, is back with its best game ever edition on current gen and as a re-release on PC, which I think you're actually getting. If you already own Skyrim on PC, you'll get the remastered edition. It'll just your copy of the game will be updated. So Skyrim, yeah, it's awesome. It's an open world kind of, everybody knows what it is, role-playing, action role-playing, and this time this re-release, which is bringing it to the current gen, bringing Elder Scrolls to the current gen, it's all about the graphics, really, all about the looks. It's all about improved environments. They've added little graphical details that just make it look a lot nicer. Looking at the comparison videos, you can see there is a big step up from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, for example. It does look a hell of a lot nicer, and definitely worth checking out if you're hankering for that Elder Scrolls kind of gameplay.
Okay, so that rounds up our top 10 for October 2016. As a special mention, we have another VR headset released as well this month, following hot on the heels of the Oculus Rift back in September.
So the PlayStation VR is out on October the 13th, and it comes with a bunch of launch titles as well. Things like Eve Valkyrie, Battlezone, which is like a tank warfare type thing, Batman Arkham VR, Hustle Kings, the list goes on. There's plenty of new games coming out as well. So it's one of the more affordable VR options at £349, and it's got kind of various bundles going up to about 400 quid. It's designed to work with the PS4, completely plug in and play, so you don't have to have a big beefy PC gaming rig and you don't have to go through an arduous installation. Plug it into your PlayStation and you'll be playing VR games. That's its main kind of appeal. It has a 5.7 inch OLED panel with 1080p resolution per eye. The whole idea is to ramp up immersion in games, you know, and take you into them, and that's what PlayStation's marketing line is, kind of step into the game, step into the experience.
There were a few other games that didn't quite make the top 10 this month, so we'll mention them here anyway. First up, Warhammer End Times Vermintide is releasing on October the 4th for PS4 and Xbox One.
Paper Mario Color Splash on Wii U, released October the 7th.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered campaign for pre-orders of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare gets released on October the 5th for PS4.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is out on PC, PS4 and Xbox One on October 25th.
Dark Souls 3 DLC Ashes of Ariandel is releasing on October the 25th for PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
That's your lot for this month. We'll be back in November with another lineup of games to look out for that month.
If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. Bye for now.